Hey guys, welcome back to Deadman 110 and welcome back to another video on the last video that we did, which was over a month ago. We did the review for Extreme Rules 2022. That wasn't too bad. Great pay-per-view, and by the way, Crown Jewel was also a great pay-per-view. I won't be going over that in the video or any other video. It might be in one of the other videos, gaming videos or live stream videos that I do. Perhaps I might go over it with, talking to some friends on Discord at the same time. But anyway, unfortunately, the thing that we've actually got to go over on today's video is some tragic, sad news that occurred on November the 10th of this year. So 8 days ago. I found out about it 4 days after it happened, so 14th. And yeah, that was while I was in hospital, but long story about that. And it was the fact that the voice of Batman, Kevin Conroy, passed away at the age of 66 due to a short battle with cancer, unfortunately. And yeah, not a video that I was hoping to make, but I figured that I would pay my respects and pay tribute to him just like many others have, including K-Wing, who we will be using his video for. That will be in the description box below. So look out for that when the video obviously uploads of mine. And yeah, so we'll be using his video for obviously that, but also celebrating Kevin's life as well. Because I think it goes without saying that we should also do that. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into the unfortunate news.
It means this is the end, Selena. It means we can't. I can't.
I will see you again, right?
No one will. Gotham needs something more, something worse to defend her. She needs a new myth. A legend more powerful than I can be right now. I'm proud of you, Dick.
I think that was our city that we were seeing just a moment ago.
This is the end.
I don't know what this is.
This is the last time we meet.
Don't talk like that. Game. I don't know.
This won't stop you.
Or same
Nothing
game,
stops
but
you.
it doesn't matter.
Keep Bloodhaven safe. Promise me.
We will go on
It's
all
okay,
about
Bruce.
that
I get it.
in a whistle.
You just don't want me
a
hanging
bizzle.
around, stealing the limelight.
Dick. He's strong. He's going to be okay. Look after him, Jim. Look after them all. You've been a good friend. The best I could ask for. You were there at the beginning. And now, you get to see how it ends.
On November.
As you saw there, that was 1955 to 2022. That's how long he lived. So, yeah, 66 years. Kind of crazy, but anyway, let's get more into it.
November 10th, 2022, the voice of the legendary Kevin Conroy went silent as the voice of Batman has passed away. This is very hard news to report, being a super fan of Kevin's work for the past 30 years and the
Same here, like, big fan of Batman, so doing this news video, even though it's a little bit late, is still kind of a challenge, but I knew I wanted to anyway, so there you go. So yeah, and not to mention the fact that in a lot of ways, like, if you were a Batman fan, then at some point in your life, like, Kevin Conroy was there, like, because he was the voice of Batman for so damn long throughout so many generations. It's like he never really left until obviously now, thanks to cancer. So in that situation, he has been a true constant when it comes to Batman, to the character of Batman, in a lot of ways, because he is Batman, pretty much the definitive Batman. Like, you can very much tell from just the way he came off. Like, obviously I've never met him, or met Kevin, but obviously from what I can tell from obviously videos I've seen recently due to his passing, he seemed like, honestly, the coolest guy to be around, but also one of the most inspirational human beings that had ever lived, in any case. So yeah, he basically did embody Batman in so many ways. And yeah, that's why it's very, very hard, as it obviously will be for all the other Batman fans, to be making videos like this paying tribute to Kevin, as we all have done, and as I'm obviously doing right now, as of this recording. So, yeah. Moving on, obviously, through the video some more.
Impact that he had on my childhood, and just how much his voice resonated as a character. You had a really popular character, Batman, that was growing in media thanks to Tim Burton and Frank Miller's, Batman.
Yeah, it's like you had Batman that, like, the first TV appearance was 1966 in the Batman Adam West TV show. Rest in peace, Adam West. And then you had the thing that really, really took Batman by storm, that was all thanks to Tim Burton and Frank Miller with The Dark Knight Returns and all the rest of the other stuff, along with the stuff that happened in the Tim Burton universe with, like, Batman 1989 and Batman Forever and Batman Returns, where Michael Keaton obviously played the role of Batman then. But in between all that, in between obviously Michael doing it and Christian Bale doing it, there was of course Kevin Conroy, because he played, the start of him playing Batman really came with the Batman animated TV show that was on, I can't remember what it was on, but it aired in like the 90s, so like 1992 and all those other years back then, so before I was even born, oddly enough. But so I've obviously been told that that was when it aired, from people that obviously got to live that period, not including myself. So in that situation, yeah, so he was kind of in the middle of the whole Keaton and Bale universe. He was kind of in the middle, because obviously Keaton's Batman was on the tail end of the 90s through to the early mid-90s, and then Christian Bale's Batman was in like the late 2000s, early 2010s, kind of. In fact, actually halfway point of the 2000s probably, and then kind of the end tail of the 2000s, and then they started the 2010s. So yeah, so he was always in the middle, and obviously he was able to last quite a while, obviously, as Batman, and throughout it all, like I said, he was definitely the one and only constant when it came to Batman, was Kevin's voice whenever he got obviously asked to play Batman in anything. when it came to reprising the role after the Batman animated series. So, yeah, he really, really was a constant.
Man, Year One, and The Dark Knight Returns. And then Kevin gave his own stamp to Batman in 1992's animated series on Fox Kids. And the first time that
Oh, okay, so it was on Fox Kids. Okay, good to know. Anyway,
audiences heard Batman speak in The Cat and Claw, it was very different than the whispery voice that Keaton had, and the performance just
oh yeah, that's a good point. That was kind of the first time that Batman sort of spoke in any sort of media to the degree that he would obviously years later, thanks to Kevin, because Michael Keaton's Batman he wasn't really that talkative, but then obviously you knew when he spoke that it mattered. But then at the same time, you probably would have wanted subtitles in the in the cinemas at the time, because obviously you wouldn't have been able to hear it that well because it was obviously whispery, but it obviously worked. So fair play to Michael Keaton, obviously. But that wasn't technically the first time that Batman spoke. Once Batman took off, it was technically the animated series. It was technically the animated series that really did that, and really was the reason why we have like, you know, like a verbally expressive Batman these days, and all these years gone by since the animated series, and obviously to come obviously in the future.
like made the world go crazy for Batman. And Kevin continued to have that spark for 30 plus years after the animated series. And a lot of people were hoping that this was a rumor. The news broke because of the Poison Ivy actress from the animated series who was very close to Kevin. And she said things that a lot of us have been thinking about Kevin based on his appearance the past 4 years or so. Apparently he had cancer. He passed away.
Yeah, apparently his appearance was a little bit touch and go for the last 4 years of his life, apparently, which is unfortunate, but he kept strong, as obviously his character knew how, which is obviously Batman. Or Batman. Just wanted to make sure I was saying that right, but anyway.
And, you know, it's very sad. Today I'm just going to mostly report the news, but a lot of you have been asking me, are you going to do for Kevin what you did for Adam? And yeah, I'm going to hold my own private little...
I don't know whether I'll be able to join that little live stream that K-Wing will be doing, but if I can, then I'll definitely do that. And I think that's coming up next week. I don't know, but we'll obviously see. It depends, obviously, what K-Wing's doing at the time, but either way, yeah, so that's obviously what he's doing. I won't be doing that. This is sort of going to be the only thing that I'll be doing tribute-wise to Kevin. I mean, I might put it up on the Discord saying blah blah blah, he's passed, but then again, I think this video is a good enough indication that, you know, it happened. I don't think there needs to be a message on top of all that, in my opinion. Obviously, if this was on the day that he passed, then this would obviously be different, but sadly that's not what I'm filming this video. I'm filming this video 18th of November 2022, so there you go. But anyhow, moving on.
Live stream memorial service, or tribute, or whatever you want to call it, a week after his passing, because I can't really do that right now. So this is just kind of like reporting on the news, because that's what I do. I report on stuff about Batman and
Yeah, like K-Wing is literally the Batman fan that you literally need to watch. Like, he knows everything about Batman. Like, I don't know many YouTubers out there that know as much about Batman as K-Wing does. So definitely subscribe to his YouTube channel, Nightwing01, and K-Wing's Let's Plays, because yeah, you're gonna learn a lot about Batman if you haven't already. So there you go. But yeah, he's all about the whole Batman news and everything on his Nightwing01 channel. So yeah. But moving on, obviously.
movies, TV, video games, and this kind of impacts all those fields today.
Indeed.
The media is reporting that Kevin's last film role was Justice League and the Fatal Five, which is an excellent movie. I never got a chance to really review that proper for you guys because of
I don't know whether I'll end up ever watching that movie, but seeing as it is apparently good, I might. But I don't know when, because I could very much forget, because this is me we're talking about. So, yeah. Obviously, that's not going to be high on my things to do, but I do want to watch the animated series at some stage, without a shadow of a doubt. But, anyway, moving on.
my ongoing battle with Warner Brothers. It's a great film.
Yeah, he has been having an ongoing battle with Warner Brothers. I'm not going to get into that, because that's a whole other drama that I don't think needs to be discussed on this episode. Or on this video, technically, because this isn't really an episode, this is a video. But either way, you get where I'm coming from. You get my drift.
I would strongly recommend you watch it. And Batman has a really important role in that movie, and it's a lot of fun, especially if you're a fan of the Justice League. It wasn't a full-blown Justice League reunion, mind you, of the cast of the original, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited show. But unfortunately, it's going to be the only reunion we ever get with most of the principal cast. But the film is...
That is unfortunate, but obviously Father Time doesn't really wait for anybody, or any of us, or anything like that. So, therefore, yeah, you sort of just gotta learn to live with it, I suppose, is the best thing I can really say towards that. And just know that at least it kind of happened. So I mean, it's not all bad,
is excellent, and that is what a lot of trades are saying is Batman's last film role. However, that is not Kevin Conroy's last role. I have heard from some sources that Kevin Conroy is in the Caped Crusader, but it's not in a role that I would have wanted for his final one, because it's kind of dark and sad.
Yeah, you'll obviously hear what Cameron's about to say now, and then I'll go into, further detail of it as much as I can, obviously.
At the same time, apparently, unless they recast, Kevin Conroy will be last heard as Thomas Wayne in the Caped Crusader. It sounds like they went with a younger actor.
Yeah, apparently they went with a younger actor to play Batman in that. I don't know what it's called, the thing, but either way, swell, I suppose. But it is unfortunate that Kevin ended up playing Thomas Wayne, considering of obviously all the Batman mythos about how obviously Thomas Wayne obviously gets shot and obviously begins obviously the Batman transformation, along with obviously Martha getting shot. But it's definitely not the bestest thing for Kevin's memory. And obviously, I'm not going to obviously campaign for it to be recast, because let's face it, what can I do? And K-Wing apparently isn't either, which, fair play to him, obviously. But it's kind of unfortunate that in a lot of ways that is his last role. But there is a brighter side to it, and you will find out momentarily.
To play Batman. I don't know who the actor is. I have no info on that. But information has come out that most likely Kevin will remain as the voice of Thomas Wayne in one episode of The Caped Crusader. And knowing what happens to Thomas Wayne in the Batman mythos, it's kind of sad. That is the last time that we're going to hear Kevin. So, I mean, I'm not going to campaign to have that role recast. I mean, that's up to the studio. I don't know. I think that it would be better for Kevin's memory if the last role that he had was Multiverses.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there is a bright side to this, and that's the fact that Kevin had quite a big influence on the voices in Multiverses, which is like a fighting game that obviously has a lot of crossover characters. I have that game, but unfortunately I haven't really sorted it out in terms of logging in and all those other palavers, unfortunately. I do plan on doing that at some stage in this lifetime, and I might actually show you videos of it, you never know. But either way, I hope that in any case, for most people, that the last memory that they get of Kevin Conroy, like moving forward, that they remember is him in Multiverses, because that's a lot more of a funner thing to obviously have as his final role, and therefore it's also a lot more family friendly as well, and it just puts a nice stamp on his memory, which is kind of all you can ask for if you're obviously a Batman fan like me and K-Wing and so many others. So yeah, on that note, moving on.
Apparently he was able to voice a lot of stuff with the character, as well as characters that are coming out to interact with them. So, you know, I would leave it at that. That is the perfect tribute role. If Multiverses, if you don't know what that is, it is a Smash Brothers clone that released earlier this year. It was in the beta in May, and it's been a free-to-play Smash Brothers Warner Brothers character clone since this summer, and it's actually really cool. I look at it from time to time. This is a lot hard.
Yeah, it does look like a lot of fun, Multiverses does, but like I said, I haven't played it fully for myself. I've only really seen videos, but it does look like fun, to be fair. And I did end up getting it for free like every other person did on their PlayStation 4s, Xboxes, possibly PCs, who knows. But for me, it was PlayStation 4. But anyway, moving on.
Harder than I thought it was going to be.
And PlayStation 5s, I forgot about that, and Xbox Series X's. But anyway, moving on.
There's reporting on the news. But in the comment section below, tell me how you feel about what happened. I mean, unfortunately, death is a part of life.
It does hurt, but obviously all good things must come to an end, and obviously time doesn't stop for anybody, and obviously we're only really set to have as long as we do on this earth. Like, I mean, I wouldn't really say that we have a set time, but obviously when your name gets called, obviously you kind of not necessarily best be ready, but it's just you don't go through life expecting no deaths. Like, there's always going to be such things as that. Much like births, even though there's more births than deaths, apparently, universally. But, yeah, I think I learned that in geography, but that's besides the point. But, I think I did, but again, not the point. But, yeah. And I do believe, even though technically I'm not a religious person per se, or religious person per se, because obviously I watched Two and a Half Men, and you kind of can't really watch that without being religious. I mean, I suppose you could, but there's a lot of wild stuff in there, so I don't know, but we're not going to get into that. But either way, so I'm obviously not necessarily that a religious person, but I do believe in some form and manner that Kevin's probably up in the clouds saying, I am vengeance, I am the night, I am Batman. Probably. I'm willing to bet. But, yeah. So, in that situation being, yeah, I'm sure he's in a better place. Better than, obviously, down here on Earth, without a doubt. Because, let's face it, this planet is a mad bloody planet. It seriously is. But, anyway, moving on. I'm totally getting off track here.
Don't believe that we as humans just cease to exist afterwards. I am a religious person, so I do believe in life after death, as well as I agree with what Kevin said years ago, how the human body is just a vessel and the spirit is eternal.
That does make sense. I mean, obviously everybody's spirit lives on in the end, but obviously bodies sadly do become kind of vessels, and obviously vessels kind of go over time, and yeah, this is starting to get pretty upsetting and dark, but obviously it is what it is. But that's as much as I'm going to say about that, obviously.
For many of us in our 30s, we have a lot of memories of Kevin, and the way that he redefined his definitive role over and over again is pretty amazing that an actor has been able to do.
Yeah, he's probably spent the most time playing one character out of any actor that I've ever known. And on another note, he's also probably the only actor that I know that just gives out voices to people that really, really need them, like people that are maybe going for a rough time or that are ill. And Kevin obviously did his stick and said, I am vengeance, I am the night, I am Batman, and all the rest of it. I think he's the only actor that, as far as I know, that has ever done stuff like that, where he just goes out of his way to do stuff like that. You would have been able to find him in Comic Cons. He would have obviously usually been at those. Obviously, before his passing, I know as much. But obviously, I've never been to Comic Cons. But obviously, I would imagine so, based on other celebrities and all the rest of it. I wouldn't have imagined that Kevin would have been any different, but anyhow, moving on.
This news hit me very hard because of having met Kevin and had the chance of getting to know a lot about the Arkham stuff over the years and the animated series, and being a big fan of his roles in all of his different Batman stuff. He's reprised the character about 45 times in the past 30 years.
45 times he's reprised that role over 30 years. 3 generations. That is mental. I don't know any other voice actor that has ever done anything closely resembling that of what Kevin did. But that just speaks volumes. Like, like, reason why, in a way, he was a part of my childhood when it came to DC and all the rest of it is stuff like I said, the Arkham games, Injustice games, Lego DC Supervillains, you know? Stuff like that. And I suppose it would have been multiverses, but obviously he's passed, but doesn't mean to say that I haven't got 2 to 3 years before that childhood ends, so I can still play multiverses in that time, obviously. But either way, those are some of the gaming roles that I remember Kevin quite fondly in, to be fair, I would say. But either way, moving on, obviously.
Which has to be a Guinness record, and it should be if it isn't. Like, maybe Guinness should
Without a
consider
doubt,
an
definitely.
honorary record for Kevin Conroy being the actor playing Batman the longest in history. That
Yeah,
would be
without a
kind of
doubt.
cool if they did something like that in memoriam or something. But
That would be cool.
I wanted to get this news out. I just heard it today. It's making the rounds, and yeah, I'll have some other DC news to report. Like I said, I will be holding a special ceremony or a special celebration of Kevin's life, talking about all kinds of things that I'm not going to do in this 7-minute video. You can look forward to that in about a week or so. I need time because it's hard to talk about it right now.
Yeah, like, literally, like, Kevin will do it when he's ready. Like, this isn't on our time in terms of seeing that memorial live stream. This is literally on his time, and it should be. He has every damn right for it to be, because I can see why this would be hard for him to have reported and obviously spoken about, and it's unfortunate that I'm doing it, but obviously I knew I wanted to do it, so as soon as I heard about it, obviously. So there you go. And on another note, it's definitely not been easy to do, but at the same time, it is nice that we do get to celebrate his life in the way that we are in some form of manner in this way.
So yeah. That's all I have to say. That's the news. Thanks for listening, people.
Hey, Dick. How you doing?
Fine.
Sorry I haven't been around. I forget how big and lonely this place can be.
That's okay.
As it turns out, I may have some free time starting tomorrow. How'd you like to catch the Gotham Knights season opener? Box seats.
Great.
I know it must be very difficult.
If only I could have stopped him. I saw him coming out of the tent. I knew he didn't belong there.
I know. You keep thinking, if only I'd done something differently. If only I could have warned them. But there isn't anything you could have done. There isn't anything either of us could have done.
Your mom and dad? Does the hurt ever go away?
I wish I could say yes. But it will get better in time. For you.
And that's what we can leave with, guys. It will get better over time. That whole feeling of unfortunate sadness, it will fade over time, just like everything does. It will flow, just like everything does. And this is no different.
That I promise.
And there you go. So that is obviously a wrap on that, and that obviously brings my video to a conclusion. So yeah, if you enjoyed this unfortunate video, but also I guess celebrationary video, I don't even know if I don't even know if that's even a word, but I suppose it's become a word now, thanks to, well, yours truly. Then like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, favorite videos. If we could get out to, oh Jesus, how many likes were we on? I don't know. Jesus. I'm guessing we're on 150 likes, so if we could reach that goal, then that'll be great. And yeah, ciao guys. Hopefully I'll have the like goal right, so then I'll be very certain of that. But anyway, I'll look at it in my own spare time. But anyway, have a good one, guys, and see you next.